But if you want to, what was I talking about? Code 4, yes, I just play the story. Just because it's a cool campaign. I think the story is really boring, apart from that one plot twist that the damn magazine spoiled for me. But you know, it's a really well done campaign, and you know, I hadn't played many serious shooters like that before, and I had no idea of the epic just flood of samey shooters that were going to come. So I didn't mind that it was kind of like that, and I didn't think there was anything to be concerned about, but there we go. What am I talking about? I don't know. Um, I'm just debating what my plan here is. I'm not sure. Oh well, anyway. Uh, but I was playing Cold 4, I was playing it on Hardened, because I'm too much of a noob to play on Veteran, but Hardened is a decent challenge for me. Uh, but I was doing that. And again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I got to the bit in the story where it's you and one other dude waiting for the world's slowest helicopter in a field next to a Ferris wheel, and you have to hold off the position against a million billion dudes, all of whom just seem to keep coming and never stop. And it got really ridiculous at one point. I figured out that I could hide behind my friend because he seemed to be invincible, so I was hiding behind him. I was using him as a human bullet shield, and that seemed to work for a while, but then he kind of crawled into a corner and I couldn't get behind him, and I died. And then even worse was the time I nearly managed to beat it. The helicopter landed, and then 5 seconds later I died. And I was just rage, you know, cage rage engage. That was pretty infuriating, but COD 4 is, you know, I don't hate these modern military shooters as a concept. I just hate that they've become so overdone and oversaturated. You know, I tend to prefer more ridiculous things, but you know, it's a good Michael Bay-esque experience, and I enjoyed it. But yes, get COD 4. I'm sure you've already played COD 4 by this point. Everyone and their gran has. But if you haven't, then it's really cheap nowadays. So go and do that, and it's actually better than all the ones that have come since. So there are still people playing online, which is quite remarkable. I imagine most of them are incredibly uber hardcore elite man dudes who will just destroy me if I try and play against them, but you know, that's what happens. Okay, now, getting off gaming a bit, do you know I finally started watching, as of yesterday? I'm 3 episodes into the first ever series. I'm not sure the second one's actually come out here, but do you know what I've been watching? Game of Thrones! Yes. That really plodding main theme. I like that theme, but it feels like it should be going somewhere and it never actually goes anywhere. If you know what I mean, because it just kind of it's like and it feels like it should be building up to something, but it just keeps going for 2 minutes. And it's like, you know, I love music that kind of builds up and then explodes. It's like the Total Recall music with the it's like it starts out with a little dee and then it goes dum 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 do 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 mwah, do 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 mwah, do 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 mwah, do 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 do. Oh, I nearly ran out of breath there. I apologise for that slight detour. Um, you may have noticed I tend to get a bit obsessive about Total Recall. We're not going to talk about that subject that we don't talk about. That is forbidden territory. But I'm not quite sure what my plan here was. Hang on. I'm trying to figure out where to put the glowstone in the floor here. There's a zombie really close by. I can hear him. He's probably just outside this wall. But I was trying to figure out where to put this glowstone, and I was trying to work out, because I don't have an awful lot of it, so I don't want to, and it has to be like a pattern, it has to be a pattern. And, oh well. But, maybe if it's like, what was that? I think he was on the roof and he fell off, that's what that noise was. But, maybe if there's one there, so it's like 2, 3, 3, 2. Oh, I figured this out. But yes, what was I talking about? Game of Thrones! Yes, I'm really enjoying it so far. I love that massive detour. I was talking about Game of Thrones and somehow I got back on the Total Recall again. I was going to take a pot shot at that Kepler over there. Oh, come here. A bit target practice on the Keplers. Hey, there you go. Come on. Go, one more should do it. Yay! That's for Roger, you exploding cock. Now, Game of Thrones, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, and you had better not spoil anything. You, I'm looking at you, dude who was just considering typing a spoiler comment, don't you dare, I will reach through this screen and rip your fucking spine out, I tell you. Don't you bloody dare. Anyway. If I see something that looks like it's going to be a spoiler, I'm just going to block you. Don't make me do this. Anyway, so yes, so mutual no spoilers, and we're going to do that. But I can tell you right now, though, this isn't a spoiler, I'm just saying my favourite character is the dwarf. Bar none, he's my favourite character. He is awesome. Everything he says is awesome. You know, the first time you see him, he's engaged in some perverted activities, and then after that, it just gets better and better. So yes, I don't want to talk about this much because it's hard not to spoil things, but I will say just in the general, you know, I've been trying for ages to watch something. When I watched DS9, you know, that's like DS9 is my favorite Star Trek, and I know it started out as a Bad 5 ripoff. Don't tell me that, I know. I never did get into Bad 5, I should. I need to try that again, but... oh, I just suppressed another belch. The sacrifices I go through. But I was doing that, and... You know, it's just... I love... With DS9, I loved just... I cared about the characters, I cared what they were doing, about their relationships with each other, all that jazz. Odo and Quark are my favourite characters in DS9. Though I love Cisco as well, he's great. He's like probably my favourite. Is he a captain or an admiral? I can't remember what he is. He gets a promotion at one point. But, you know, I just love them. And, hello, undead man. Die. Someone recommend a good name for the zombies, because I can't think of one, I'm sorry. Maybe I could call them Shamblers. That's a good name. Hey look, it's Mount Hillington being silhouetted against the fresh sun of the morning. Top of the morning to you. What was that? I don't know. But we're doing that. And you know, but I was watching, you know, DS9, I've been looking for a thing where I care about the characters, and so far, I'm just going to say the dwarf in Game of Thrones is awesome. Absolutely awesome. 100% awesome. Great in every detail. So yeah, that's what I want Game of Thrones to be. I want it to be the next DS9 for me. I want it to be something that I care about the characters and the plot. There were times in DS9 where I went, oh shit, did that just happen? Oh no, what's his face? Oh, he's in trouble now. You know, stuff like that. I want that to happen, but with Game of Thrones. And I hope that's feasible. So, I'm just doing... I don't... my pattern idea is not working. Hang on. Is this gonna work? The 2 by 2? What is... Something's different. I need to... Is this thing completely even or something? Because I swear there's something wrong. No, okay, it worked. Okay, I was imagining it. There we go. So that's what I want Game of Thrones to be. And so far, I love everyone's a bastard in Game of Thrones. Everyone is evil. But oh well. I'm not going to say more about that because it's going to be spoilers and all nonsense. But I have high hopes of Game of Thrones, and so far it is incredibly awesome. So I hope that. And I heard so much goddamn stuff about it. Everyone was always going on about Game of Thrones. It's like when Lost came out, and I'd never seen Lost and had no interest in it, and everyone's saying, "Oh, you should see Lost. It's cool." I'm like, I don't care about Lost. Leave me alone. And that was that. But Game of Thrones was different because it actually sounded like something I might care about. I will eventually get around to that Lost box set I told you about in one of the first episodes. But isn't that nice? Look at that. It's like, oh, the whole place is all lit up now. There's a bunch of torches as well, but whatever. Oh, what's another topic? Oh yes, I've been thinking about this. Movie games. We're back on the games again. Movie games. You know, everyone knows that movie games tend not to be exactly brilliant. If we're going to be, you know, blunt about it. But you know, I think there are some real exceptions that people should, you know, pay attention to. And one famous one is the Spider-Man 2 game. You know, and confusingly, there are several Spider-Man 2 games because there's there's Spider-Man 2 Enter the Electro on PS1 and stuff. I think it's only on PS1 actually. It was confusing because the first of those Spider-Man games was on a lot of things, but then the sequel was only on PS1, I think. So you could play that. Uh, but then there was also on the Game Boy there was a Spider-Man 2 game, Spider-Man 2 and the Sinister Six. I had that back in the day. That was alright. But completely different and completely unrelated, but confusingly enough, still called Spider-Man 2. And then this movie came out, and they called it like Spider-Man 2, the movie of the game of the movie of the comic book of the. You know what I mean? It reminds me of when, you know, there was Street Fighter the movie, and then they brought out a game, so they call it Street Fighter the movie, the game, and it's ridiculous. But that's the situation we're in. Why do I have a stone axe? It's ridiculous. I can't be bothered to get rid of it. I'm too lazy to get rid of it. So still building here. Huh. So what else? What else? Things. But Spider-Man 2. I love the Spider-Man 2 movie game just because it's so amazingly fun to just swing around, and I actually kind of regret what I've done. Damn it! I've reconsidered what I was doing here. Never mind that. Okay. Because if you really, if you've never thought that you know, it's like the most superhero-y. I think Spider-Man 2, the movie game, is, you know, one of the only games I can think of that is... It's basically saved by one mechanic. The rest of the game is pretty underwhelming, but that one thing is so good. It really does just make the game worth playing by itself, basically. And that one mechanic is the swinging. The way you swing through the city and all that junk is just so fun. It's amazing because if you play like the Spider-Man games on PS1 and all that, what have I done here? I've done something horribly wrong. Oh god damn it! I don't know what's going on. Something. Okay, that's fine. If you play the Spider-Man games on PS1, they're pretty. You know, they're not exact. You know, they're pretty primitive. They're basically just, you know, beat 'em ups with the occasional swinging section, and you know, they're a lot of fun for what they are. But I'm just telling you, they're not exactly, you know, works of art in terms of technical achievement. Yes. So I'm just saying that. I think one of them does have Stan Lee doing the narration though, so that's pretty cool. You know, welcome true believers and all that. No one talks like Stan Lee. It's really weird. But then you play the Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 and Xbox and all that, and it's just you feel like fucking Spider-Man when you're playing that game. You're like, holy shit. And you know and it's a bit random at times, the swinging, but there is a bit of skill involved because you have to know, it takes a while to get the controls down, and but once you master it, there are all these challenges you can do which are incredibly difficult but incredibly satisfying to pull off. Things like little races and things, and it's so cool. And the pizza missions, the goddamn pizza missions are the best things, because the music, you know the music. If you've ever played it, you know the music. That same music, and the best part is it gets faster as your time starts to run out. So it starts out quite slow, and then by the end of it, it's like it's ridiculous. It's amazing. It is, that if there was like an award for the best mini game, that would probably be my pick. Just because that was amazing. You have to deliver pizzas to that music on a time limit, and you get a bonus if you don't. If you roll over and crush the pizzas, you get a worse score. So you have to deliver the pizzas in as good a condition as possible, which means you can't roll or do tricks or anything to squish the pizza. And it's so cool. It's the best thing. But yeah, Spider-Man 2. And the funny thing is, every other aspect of Spider-Man 2 is pretty underwhelming, like I said. But the swinging is so fun. Ever since they brought that game out, every single Spider-Man game since basically has tried to do the same thing to various degrees of success. Another good one, if you've ever played Ultimate Spider-Man on PS2, which is like based on the comics I have no interest in, that's a kind of cool thing. And you can play as Venom as well, which is actually a lot of fun. You can eat people. Yes, that's fun because you can eat people. That's how I judge whether or not something is fun, by whether or not you can eat people. That's why I like the Jurassic Park Lost World game, despite it being crap, is it lets you eat people. That's a less good movie game, and the thing about that game is there's no reason why it couldn't have been fun. It's like a 2D action platformer, but for some reason they made the controls horrendously annoying, and then they gave you a live system so that you can only die so many times. The only way to play that game is to put in the 99 lives cheat and the level select. Just skip the bits at the beginning. They start you out as a Compyosagiosaurus, whatever it's called, the little green dude, and then you have to eventually work your way up to the king of the dinosaurs, and it's awesome. But it is, I wouldn't pay too much for that. I just get it. Yes, but we're talking about good movie games, and another good one, King Kong, the King Kong game from a couple, when they brought out the 5th remake of it. That game is staggeringly good for what it is. It's like, wow, this has no right to be as good as it is. And it isn't like Spider-Man 2, where it just has the one really good gimmick. No, the entire game is a lot of fun. It's like a first-person shooter, but with this kind of emphasis on. I think Half-Life might have been a big influence. It's got like some puzzly bits and some adventuring bits. There are sections where you play as King Kong and just punch the shit out of stuff as well, which makes for some nice variety, but seriously, it costs nothing these days. Get King Kong, it's on PC and PS2 and Xbox and all that shit. Just get the King Kong game if you want to see probably one of the... in my mind, there's no doubt it's one of the most underrated movie games ever, because it's just so different and so amazingly, surprisingly good. It has no right to be as good as it is. It really doesn't. I'm just trying to figure out what my grand scheme of this is. Okay, so it comes up and there, and then. Okay, I regret putting the ladder here now. I've thought of a better idea. Pay no attention. Pay no attention. I hate trying to get rid of ladders. It's kind of awkward, if you know what I mean. Uh, oh, because when you're on the ladder, for some reason it kind of glitches out and doesn't let you get rid of it as easily. Get off the ladder. Thank you.